Hello everybody, Ben Woodruff here. Today's video, I'm going to take you to go see some ruins here in central Utah. Now this particular site is pretty exposed. A lot of times when you go see ancestral Puebloan ruins, there's beautiful cliffs and deep canyons, but this area is quite exposed and it's very windy. That's why I'm hunkered down under this juniper tree instead of out of the open at the moment. I'm trying to get out of the wind. Hopefully it's not picking up too much on the mic. But where we're going, this landscape is really interesting. Again, usually you're looking at really well-defined canyons where you're finding these sort of dwellings. But in this case, these ruins, it's just very gentle rolling hills. And then the water just gently follows the lowest point and goes down, and then it just abruptly cuts in this overhang and then goes back to being gentle rolling hills again. You would not know, if you didn't know where these ruins were, I just, saw them from a distance, and you wouldn't be able to see them if you were just a few feet off, because you would just think it's just rolling junipers. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to check this out. We are. It's pretty windy. I hope you can hear me. If you look down there and over here, you can see this pueblo. We're going to scramble down in there and we're going to check it out. Checking out this ancient site, you can't help but reflect on what it would take to live here. I do a lot of bushcraft and survival camping, and I look at an environment of what kind of food is there. In this area, there's a lot of pinyon pines, so you get pine nuts. That's a good source of protein. There are some rabbits and lizards, and deer, but not many. And the water isn't running, so you have to have water to survive. So just thinking about it, the people who lived here anciently, they hunted and they gathered, and they also grew corn. So this is not from here. I brought this from home. But corn is something really special because it can be dried out like this. I have no idea how old this is. I dried this a long time ago. But you can dry out corn, you can make a granary, and you just seal it off. And then anytime you want to eat, you go and you get some, you just take some of those dry kernels off and you grind them up with a mano and a metate, mix them with a little bit of water, and bam, you basically have a tortilla. And there's your beginning of food. You can add to that, you can add whatever you want. But it's pretty amazing when you think about that was such a good way to survive. Now in this area now, it is drier, and there's not as much water flowing through here as there was when these people lived here. But nevertheless, these were still masters of survival in the desert. These were people who knew how to make the most of the resources they had around them. So being able to hunt, being able to gather, and being able to farm, combining all of those in these environments, and these people thrived, and they did for a very long time. It's a beautiful thing to come here and see the way they lived. This, I recognize this is a kiva. You can see that it's in a half circle, or I mean it's in a full circle, but also you see these little, almost like pillars around the edge. In one of my other videos, I'll take in an intact kiva and let you see how that structure actually works, and maybe I'll clip that into this video here. But kivas were sacred structures. Now, there's a lot of dust and dirt that's blown down in here, but this is right on top. I mean, these were structures. You can see, again, the smoke up above. Oh, it's really interesting. Look on the other side there. You see these? There's post holes chiseled into the rock themselves. There's one. There's one. There's one. There's one. Big one here. Big one here. So if you're trying to make a solid structure, you got to be able to hook it up against the wall. And so chiseling in, that makes structural sense. You got to have structural integrity. It's really neat back here. Got a little piece here. That's some really pretty stuff. Looks like jasper. Nice flake. Again, don't take it with you. Don't take souvenirs. Just take pictures. So one of the things that we kind of think we need to do in today's world is we always need to have a roof over our heads. And in ancient times, all around the world, that wasn't necessarily the case. You know, you can sleep outside, or you can just sleep in the open air if you want to, or if you need to. You can sleep by a fire, you know. And if you look at this whole area here, we're going to take a look at this. You can see on the other side, this is just such a nice little alcove. It's probably not the safest place because it keeps flaking off. You can see behind me some of these big pieces that have come down. But still, shelter from the cold, guaranteed source of water back in the day. It's a great place to live. I wouldn't mind living here. Well, this area is really interesting. You can see all the carve marks in the rock. And you see that spiral. But that's Adobe. That all up there, that is all Adobe. This whole area, this is kind of strange because this is filled with smoke, and this is all Adobe. And I can see some of these timbers here sticking out. But I mean, was this stacked, or is this naturally here? I don't know. This is what you make that out of. So is this the raw stuff? Was this stored here in mass? Because you can see it's all built up there. You can see this structure here. I don't know if this is a granary. I'm not sure what happened here, but it's definitely got a lot of fire going back there. You can see it's all blackened up on top. And this structure here, no fire, and this is either an old place to sleep or maybe a granary. Not sure, but all of this mud, and this is clay and mud right here. This is, you never find this stuff. Again, this stuff right here, I'm not touching it. This stuff right here, that's what you build with, and that's what all this is. It just looks like raw piles and piles and piles of it. So maybe that's a reason to be here. But I can't tell. This kind of looks circular. Sort of wonder if there used to be a structure here that's fallen down. I'm not sure. Well, I hope you enjoyed coming along with me on this little hike. It's very windy today, and hopefully the sound isn't totally ruined in this video. But I hope you enjoyed coming along and seeing this. You know, there's such beautiful, you know, remains from cultures in the past out there. And there's, you know, national parks and national monuments, big old places like Chaco Canyon and Mesa Verde and some of these places. But, you know, it's some of these little ruins like this that are kind of neat. They're kind of special to come out here. There's nobody out here. You know, there's no signs, and it's just neat to kind of get back in the backcountry and see this. So hope you enjoyed coming along for it. If you haven't already, if you could hit subscribe to my channel, I very much appreciate it. And always remember, life is an adventure. So never stop learning and never stop exploring. We'll see you next time.